I'm not raising him to be a hater, meaning I'm not raising my son to use objective parameters to view the world. I'm raising him to be like me. It is so narcissistic. It is so perverted. It is one of the deepest, darkest forces out of the pit of hell. That statement, I'm raising him to be like me. And I think in the investigation and analysis of degenerate femininity, you can find the roots of the same ideology that is ravaging the minds of millions of people in the West that are possessed by the woke mind virus, and especially women on average that are raised without fathers or without just competent fathers. I'm of course talking about those women that have no model in their mind for coherent, just masculinity. Interestingly enough, research demonstrates that women that don't have a model for coherent, just masculinity also tend to associate objective reality with oppression and objective reality with corruption and something that is untenable. Because they associate coherence itself, symmetry itself, order, to be very, very precise, applicable term here, order itself is abhorrent. That's how they view it. And I'm going to show you demonstrations of that here, where you see a degenerate feminine psyche totally destroyed and clearly at odds with masculinity, with reality, and with order. This is a man who is clearly divorced with this woman and is coming to visit his son and finds this degenerate female has hung a perverted American flag of the LGBTQ rainbow flag. This is clearly a retribution, an attack on reality, a completely disorganized feminine discombobulation and total mental disarray as a result of likely being scorned and feeling powerless. That's where you see these broken women trying to lash out in ways that only damage and humiliate themselves on Twitter, where they say things that are blatantly not just false, but the inversion of true. Like they call Andrew Tate a loser while posting a video of him driving a supercar that costs more than they could sell all of their internal organs for, while he's surrounded by supermodels. And it's like, okay, you just retweeted a video of him being adored by supermodels, and you're a 5 with 37 followers, and they're still calling him a loser. Like, it's clear that they are so disconnected from reality that they are feeling scorned and are simply lashing out. The problem, of course, is that this damages society, but the deeper analysis, the diagnosis of the illness, the architecture is of the resentment of Marxism. The problem, of course, in society is that masculinity is being demonized, and the degenerate forces of resentment being propagated by the Marxist ideology are pushing for a feminized society, for society itself to become femme-centric and the demonization of masculinity. And the reason for that is because it is in their interest to make it so the population is unable to resist their incoherent doctrine with analysis that is coherent, logical, expectant of an objective truth to emerge or be observable. And those frameworks are all masculine. That's the reason why they demonize masculinity.
Right here. What is that?
Confronts the woman, and then look at her instant response. What do you mean, what's wrong with this? It's like saying, what do you mean, what's wrong with this, when you're standing next to a completely totaled car and you're acting as though you didn't just crash it?
What is that?
You.
No. What's this?
What do you mean, what's that?
My son.
What do you mean, what's that? What do you mean, what's that? It's the degenerate femininity struggling to coexist with the objective parameters of reality which they have come to disdain. Mentally destroyed, they are perverse and hating any aspect of reality that judges them for their inadequacy. This is exactly in keeping with the demonization of masculinity on the cultural scale we are observing.
About love.
Man,
That's
you
love. You're supposed to love everyone.
Man.
Can you imagine trying to exist with this woman in a relationship? It's completely impossible.
I'm not raising him to be a hater. What are you doing?
Exactly. Man,
That statement there is emblematic of the female degeneracy. I'm not raising him to be a hater, meaning I'm not raising my son to use objective parameters to view the world. I'm raising him to be like me. It is so narcissistic. It is so perverted. It is one of the deepest, darkest forces out of the pit of hell. That statement, I'm raising him to be like me. To not be able to employ objective parameters of reality. And in a moment, you're going to see that the son looks damaged, that the son looks psychologically abused as he comes out of that house. What you just said is the epitome of evil. I'm not raising my son to think. I'm not raising my son to be able to look at the world in terms of better and worse, is what she just said. I'm not raising him to view the world in terms of right and wrong, because then he would judge the incompetence and incoherence that defines my life.
Yeah, bro.
Leave it
Rip
alone.
that. Rip that. Rip that. We ain't with
This is the reason why women need men. Because without men, they completely self-destruct. Without men, there is no society, obviously. There's no inventions. There's no civilization. Because men build everything and protect everyone and invent everything and maintain society. But even interpersonally, women self-destruct without men in their lives. You see it here. I mean, what is this? It's so perfectly archetypal. When you think about the founding fathers had the best set of moral principled ideas the world had ever seen, and as a result founded America with this American flag, and then that same American flag got perverted by a degenerate feminine woman who is literally at war with reality, at war with objective morality, and at war with coherence, and so literally perverts that same flag that is in many ways standing as an archetypal representation of masculine excellence in all domains. Of course, also that flag is standing as an attack against her husband, which she clearly, doesn't deserve. She's not good enough for him. She's not good enough for anyone, and no child should be associated with her. this is a damaged woman's mind.
In front of your son?
Nah, come here.
We
In
ain't
front of your son?
Come on.
You don't do that in front of your son?
Why would you? Why,
And look, and now look at her. She's starting to smile and smirk. It's so
why would you
disgusting.
put that up like that?
Like
You know what this
what?
means?
Yeah.
What are you trying to teach my son?
It means love.
No.
It means
It's so disgusting. It is so disgusting. Love means not being able to judge anyone. Love means no right and wrong. Love means no coherence. Love means I'm completely oblivious to what built society, to the fact that this house is standing up as a result of men that built it using engineering and math, using objective truth. These women are destroyed. Their brains are ravaged. Inside her head, there is nothing but chaos. This is the reason why women need men in their lives. This is the reason why society is under attack by Marxists, harnessing degenerate femininity to wage war on truth, to wage war on reality that holds them accountable and judges them for their incoherence.
love everyone.
This what your mama been teaching you? This is what you've been teaching you?
And he's just
Oh my God, dude, it's so sad. But thank the Lord that the father's there to finally rescue the son, though, because I mean, look at the son; he looks psychologically abused.
fine.
What are you?
I'm teaching him not to be a hater like
No,
you.
no. Back up, bro. Hey, rip that stuff, man.
You ain't doing that.
Alone.
Bro.
But that's why I
Thank
got
you.
another one coming tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. We gonna see about that.
Yeah, you can't even rip it. You're not even
You know
strong enough.
what? It don't
I'm out
matter.
here trying to raise my boy to be.
Look, and then on top of the hatred for reality, she starts attacking his masculinity. It is so perfectly archetypal, guys. It is so perfectly archetypal. And on top of that, she's smiling as she's doing it. These women are destroyed, bro. You seeing this? This is the face of a woman that doesn't take life seriously. Her callous and feminine degeneracy resulting in moral bankruptcy is rubbing off on her child and is child abuse, psychological abuse. And if you look at the poor boy, he's clearly been affected by it.
And this stuff. You know what this means?
Yes, I know what it means.
And then on top of that, he's still being the bigger man child, even though she just attacked his masculinity, did all types of attacks against reality, demonstrating her complete literal mental illness. He still turns to her and says, "Do you know what this means?" Still trying to reason with her. You can tell who the stable one was in this relationship. It was definitely him, bro. Props to this man. I hope you find a woman that doesn't hate herself, that was raised with a father in her life. What a horrible creature of a failed being this woman is.